Welcome, everyone, to our new video podcast from Wall Street Whisper called The Brief. Today, we have our special guest, Ivo Allen, the CEO of 911inform. Welcome, Ivo, and let's get started. Ivo, introduce yourself and give us your background.
My name is Ivo Allen. I'm the CEO and founder of 911inform. I've been in telecommunications and networking for K-12, municipal, and government here in New Jersey for the past 27 years.
Why did you start 911inform?
I started 911inform about 8 years ago after my wife and I saw a Dateline episode on the school shootings. In that episode, they said that 80% of fatalities in a mass shooting event are from non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Police don't have situational awareness, so it takes time for them to enter the building. So people that got shot just bled out. My wife turns to me and says, well, why is that the case? You do all the schools, you do all the police. So I started looking at what the police had, and they have a myriad of software. But the interesting fact is an active shooter event or a medical emergency is over in less than 8 minutes. So there's no time to get into all this software and look at this information in real time. So I went back to my wife and said, yeah, it doesn't exist. People are throwing more software at it, but that's not going to solve the problem. So she said, you need to fix it. So with that, we started developing 911inform.
What is Ray-Baum's compliance, and how do you exceed it?
Ray-Baum's Act. It's a federal law that went into effect on January 6, 2021. And it says if you make a 911 call, you now have to provide a dispatcher location. This applies if you bought a new phone system after January 6, 2021, or if you did an update to your existing phone system, you now have to be compliant with the law. And basically, if you dial 911 and it just gives the street address, that's no longer compliant. You have to actually say where they are in the building, what floor they're on, and you also have to notify the personnel in the building that they're having a 911 call. We saw this as a Trojan horse for us. The technology that's been doing it, a couple major companies, Red Sky, owned by Everbridge, you have Intrado, that have been doing it. And they've been doing it the same way for since 1980, basically. So it was easy for us to come into this and really be a disruptor and provide a higher level of service.
What would the customer see as 911inform's biggest value?
I think the biggest value to 911inform to the customer is twofold. One is the reduction in response time. I mean, it's the safety aspect of it. We reduce the response time to an emergency by 60% here in New Jersey. In other areas, metro areas, we reduce response time by 80%. And if you're having a stroke, you're having a heart attack, that's life-saving. Additionally, the accountability. When there's a 911 call or a panic button or any kind of event that's triggered in our system, we're bridging the police, we're bridging the security staff, we're bridging that 911 caller all together on a single communication channel. We're tracking everybody's movements, we're tracking their response times. So now the K-12 school or the enterprise has a rock solid accountability of how they perform. So for liability aspects, I think it's a huge value 911inform brings to the table.
What were the biggest challenges you had to overcome with 911inform?
I think some of the biggest challenges we overcame or actually still overcoming, first of all, is the industry itself. If you look at K-12 as an example, they're bombarded every day with new software claiming, safety. You look at, we are a single pane of glass, we're a complete paradigm shift in the thinking. Everyone else is throwing more software, buy my software, and none of it's used in emergency. We're saying, get one software package and we'll connect to everything. So, the industry itself is fighting us. And it's tough to get through the noise. If you're a business administrator, superintendent, just normal solicitation, normal contact doesn't work because we have to convey a value prop. We have to convey that we are changing the paradigm. So that's one of the biggest, things that we began to overcome and still are overcoming. I think the other thing is the mindset. Again, using K-12 schools as an example, It's, I'm just going to check the box. The state's giving me software for free. I'm going to check the box. I train once a quarter. I train once a month. That's not going to save lives, right? So, getting them to care and look at a software package that's going to cost the same as everything else, but be more efficient, reduce your response times to emergencies, make you accountable, getting through that noise, and then making them care about it, changing that mindset. Those are, I think, they're the two biggest things that, that were challenging for us.
As a single pane of glass solution, what sets 911inform apart from its competitors?
Our single pane of glass solution sets us apart from our competitors because we don't have competitors. Again, look at the paradigm. Everybody's throwing more software. You have companies like Motorola throwing software out there. You have companies like Intrado throwing software. They hate each other. They're not going to play in the sandbox together. So when we say competitors, we say feature competitors. So if you look at our connected building solution, we have mapping in there, we have paging in there, we have door access in there, we have camera in there, we have facial recognition, we have LPR, license plate reading. All that technology is under a single pane of glass. All these other companies, there's companies out there that are selling LPR, there's companies out there selling facial recognition, companies selling camera. So it's we don't have competitors, we have feature competitors.
How many buildings and how many countries are you currently serving?
So 911inform, we're installed in over 10,000 buildings to date. We are under contract for 12,000 buildings. Keep in mind, some of these contracts that we have are massive. You have Bloomberg globally, you have FAA, 1,000 locations, you have Home Depot, Southwest Airlines, AAA. So you have a lot of deployment to do. It takes time. But we're in over 10,000 to date, and 12,000 contracted, and we are up and operational in over 50 countries worldwide.
What is the most important statistic about 911inform?
What's the most important stat about 911inform? I mean, there's so many of them. Look at the company itself. Triple-digit growth year over year. ARR, triple-digit growth. Net retention value. We closed last year at 156% net retention value. At the halfway mark this year, we hit 118% net retention value. We have over 10,000 deployments. We've only lost 5 customers, right? So it's we're doing an incredible job. We have an incredible sticky product, but it really the most important thing is the lives that we saved. We're credited with saving 7 lives. We have 5 children and 2 adults that are alive today because of our software. Also, you look at last year we processed 47,000 emergencies. And this year we're at the halfway mark. We're already at 36,000 emergencies. So we're going to double that number as well. So, you come down to it, you can look at a lot of stats, but the most important thing is how many people that are alive today because of what we do.
Ivo, thank you for spending time with us on The Brief. Please give us your closing thoughts.
Well, that's a wrap. So thank you, JB, Oliver, and Mark for putting this together. Thank you guys for watching. And most importantly, thank you to the investors, everyone that took a chance on us. We are truly making a difference in this industry. We have a lot of exciting things coming out, a lot of news coming out. So keep watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here at The Brief by Wall Street Whisper. For more information on 911inform, please visit 911inform.com. And please join our mailing list by signing up at wallstreetwhisper.com. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Brief.